complain too much.
Can't complain, right? All right, we
Yeah.
live.
Okay.
We live in here. Make sure the mics and stuff are correct because there's been times where my mic hasn't been picking up anything. Drake, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Hear you good. All right. Episode 23. At least I think that's where we're at. Apologize. We didn't go yesterday. Had a crazy day at work. So obviously not to miss out on a week. We're available today. Nice Saturday, July 10th. Had a couple things happen. This week.
Few things happened.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Notorious DRE channel popping. I know you crossed over 100 subs already.
100 over 100. So I got that email from Rob. I guess that's the dude. But yeah, 100 at 120 right now. So
nice.
Going good, man. And the views is like it's like a good ratio to like the subscriber count. So yeah, man, I'm pleased, man. I can't complain about it. Cannot complain.
Yeah, see you pumping the videos out. I like the consistency already.
Yeah, that's what I asked for some advice, and that was one of the things that they told me to do was just be consistent and obviously be yourself, which I don't know how to be no other way, but be consistent, be yourself, and everything will fall into place. If you got good vibes and all that stuff, and everything should take care of itself. So yeah, man, I'm here.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
How you been?
I've been good, man. I actually got. Hold on, let me go grab him right quick.
I know what he about to show.
All right. Remember Xbox Design Labs came back, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right.
sir.
So I made 2 controllers. They were supposed to come on July 16th. I was surprised, and I got them yesterday. So my official embedded Kid Smooth controller. That's my name at the bottom.
Right.
This is it already got some wear and tear on it because I've been using it. But the black and green is inspired by the obviously the Xbox One X. I don't if you it matches the headsets, right? The new Xbox wireless headset with the green outline and whatnot. So I made sure the colors matched, and it also matched the top of the Xbox Series X, that little green whatever inside like the fan. But this is the one I've been using. I'm so happy with it. It makes me want to order some more, but it's like that. It does get expensive because it's like at minimum it's $70, I believe, and then it's $10 for the engraving and whatnot. But it works. I like the color. It's like my new default. And then I made another one just kind of reverse.
So what made you get 2?
That's a good question. I was like, I don't know. I was because I wanted to do both, and I kind of had the budget for it. I was like, all right, I got a budget for 2, and then I was like, I'll probably, if anything, I'll just get rid of the red controller I have and the blue controller I have. I'll sell those, and then I'll just make my own and come up with the combinations I want. But this is the green one, so it's pretty much like, so we got black and green, and we got green and black.
Nice.
And I haven't used this one yet, but I'm very pleased with it. And I don't know, man. I understand. I guess I can understand why people buy a bunch of damn controllers, even though it's not necessary. But I'm using this one like right now. Like I played. I was playing Watch Dogs Legion. I'm doing the Bloodline expansion, and bro, I'm not sure if you have it or if you downloaded it. I'm having some trouble with this game.
As far as
like every time I shut the fucking game, or like, so this is one of the rare games that does not support quick resume on Xbox.
Okay.
So it doesn't support quick resume, and apparently it doesn't support manual saves or auto saves. So every time, like, so the first time when the damn expansion came out, I was like, all right, let me get started, play the first, and play like a first couple missions, and when I get through the prologue, whatever, and I was like, all right, when I have my more time, I'm gonna dive in. I just wanted to get my feet wet. So I turned off my Xbox, whatever. I turned it back on. The next day, play it back, and I'm like, the hell? I did this mission already. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I did a mission after this too. And so I was like, fuck it. I'll do it again, whatever, because I was feeling it. And then I was like, you know what? Make sure that it wasn't no fluke. And then I played a good 3 hours. At this point, I'm going there. I'm trying to finish off, instead of, you get the mainline campaign, and then obviously you get side missions, right? So I said, yes. You know what? I'm gonna just tackle all the side missions first. So I just started tackling out like the side missions for the game. And I was like, all right, let me play NBA Live with this dude Nick, right? So I finished up the mission I was on, switched the game. And then after we were done, I was waiting for my wife to get out of the shower. I was like, let me play a little bit of more Watch Dogs Legion. Boot the game back up, and I lost about 4 missions. Like, back to the point. I was like, hold up, bro. I was like, it started me back at the beginning of the missions for the person I was doing quests for. I already did like 5 or 6 missions already for this person, and it started me back at the beginning. And I realized my clothes were different because midway through my playthrough, I bought clothes because you know how you get in-game currency, you buy clothes, and I went to unlock an achievement, but I gotta buy a certain amount. So I put on like all this shiny ass gear on Aiden, and I'm like, I still got the rinky-dink suit that they give you at the start of the game. And I'm like, what happened? And I realized. And then I'm looking through the menu. I was like, is there a way to manually save it? There's no way to manually save it. And there's no autosave. So the game, I don't know if this is a game problem or an Xbox problem, but the game literally it's just not saving past a certain point. I feel like the next time I play, I probably have to play through the entire expansion before I shut this shit off.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. What? Because the original campaign, not original, but the campaign, the main storyline that had autosaves, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I had no issues playing through that game. Right. But then again, I also played. I don't know. I guess it doesn't. I'm not sure. But I played that game on Xbox One X when it came out because I was able to get a review copy, and so I was able to get the game earlier than when it released. But right. I played through that on the Xbox One X. I did not have any issues with my saves, and I haven't really super played seriously on the Series X because by the time the Series X came out, I already finished the game. I already completed the game. So now I'm trying to dive in because I wanted to play this expansion because you're Aiden and whatnot. And it started off really good, but now it's like, yo, I might have to drop this until they do a patch because they either have to fix it or I have to find a day where I'm off the entire day and hope I can beat it in a single play session. And I honestly don't like doing that. I really don't like doing that unless I know if it's a game I could crank out in 2-3 hours.
But I don't know anybody who does that. I'm sure there's people who can just sit through it, but yeah, niggas gotta take breaks, man.
Yeah. So that's what I've been going through. So right now I'm just like, fuck it. But I did beat at least the first half of Scarlet Nexus.
So how you feeling that? Because I'm thinking that's going to be my next purchase.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any, I guess, remote interest into games like that, I would recommend it. For me to have like zero interest in those type of games, and for me to actually sit down and play through it, and actually, I'm shocked I finished the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised that I bought it because I had interest in it, but I figured I buy it, I play a little bit of it, and then I probably drop it because I lose interest. But I stayed with it, and I beat it. So right now is money well spent. And the reason why I say I beat the first half because it's 2 playable characters, you know I played through Yuhito's story, which is the male character, and now I got Kasani that I'm going to play through to get the full scope of what's going on in the game. But as far as I mean, I like the fact that it's I'm more tolerable to action RPGs versus like turn-based. It's not a turn-based game, you know what I mean? You know, there's obviously skill trees and things to unlock and upgrades and combos and stuff like that. But the game kept me hooked. I think the story was decent. The gameplay it's fun. It's nice. Especially the further you get into because you have to like obviously unlock a lot of elements of the gameplay. And if you get past those early basic parts where it's very like generic, you'll enjoy like the game a lot once like you open up the pretty much the combos and the skill trees and whatnot. But I had a blast. I put a decent amount of time into it, and like I said, I wanted to play a different game to break up the monotony. And then like the Watch Dogs, and then after I did that, go back and do Kasani's part, and then finish it off that way.
Right.
But I enjoyed it. I recommend it.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely going to pick that up after. Well, shit, I finished A Plague's Tale.
Okay. Now this is your second playthrough, right?
Yeah, it's my second time playing. Yeah. I mean, I love that game, dog. And they did it. Of course, this is the free upgrade with the native port, right? So, they did a pretty good job. They definitely did a good job with the DualSense. I wouldn't necessarily say it's Astro like up to that level, but it's probably I'll probably have it like Astro, Returnal, and then this is A Plague's Tale is probably the third best game that uses the DualSense. Yeah, the only thing I wish is that I wish that they would have it turned on all the time. Like you only feel footsteps when you run, and like you only feel a rumble when like you jump off a ledge or if you're near the rats. Which that shit go crazy then with them rats. Like and you feel all them rats and shit screaming and squirreling around and shit. So yeah, it go crazy with them rats.
That's on PS Plus, right?
Yeah, PS Plus.
Actually, I have an excuse to actually download and play it because I beat it on Xbox. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna play through it again on Xbox. Even though there's achievements that I don't have that I can go and get, but I have like a more of an excuse to play it on the PS5 at this point. It's on PS Plus still. I might download it. It's a quick game. It's what, like 10 hours?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, definitely 10 hours. And so I'm one trophy away from the platinum, which it's irking my nerves, dog, because it's you got to fully upgrade your equipment trophy.
Yeah.
And items is scarce. So
very scarce. I realized that. I was like, I knew there was an achievement to fully upgrade. I'm like, was it meant for me to fully upgrade? Because I ain't find shit throughout like my original playthrough.
So I wasn't even able to fully upgrade like during my first playthrough. I had to go back chapters and try to get equipment and just focus on. Get items and just focus on my equipment. And I'm at the end of the game where you have to get past the bridge with the dudes with the archers and they're shooting at you. I don't want to spoil it for her. Yeah.
But why is this game's old?
It's old, but people are just now playing it on Plus and Game Pass. So.
but that part had me like I don't know, man. I felt
I'm getting so tight about that part because it's like when you first go through dumb guards, I can get them easy, but it's when you got to turn around and get the ones coming from behind you. And now this bitch want to act like she ain't got no aim or something and she can't. So I'm getting tight. So but there's a glitch that I don't want to do, but if I keep dying at this part, I'm going to do it. So there's a glitch where you can glitch the equipment so you can upgrade the equipment without having to go to the bench and do it the normal way. But I don't want to do it that way. But this is getting me tight, so I might have to make that decision and go ahead and get it over with. But yeah, absolutely love this game. Can't wait for the sequel, and I encourage everybody who hasn't played it to at least give it a try.
Yeah,
definitely give it a try. I think you will find it enjoyable, especially the music. That music is crazy. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, that game. I was thoroughly impressed by that game when I played it and I finished it. I still remember the morning. It was the first game I beat of 2020. I beat it in January of 2020. I enjoyed it, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by the boss fight, the last boss. I thought they did a good job with that. Because I was, majority of the game, I wasn't really expecting much of a challenge, right? And I felt like that game actually, that pretty much boss was a decent challenge. It was a decent
it was cool. I'm just ready for the sequel. I'm just ready to see what kind of Paris Hugo gets
Hmm.
in the sequel. And yeah, I'm just ready. I'm just ready for that game.
When's the did they put a date or did we just get a CGI?
Just yeah, just 2022.
Oh, 2020. So all right. So it's
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
next year.
All
Yeah,
right.
but no like official date though. No official release date.
Yeah. So
But
Xbox All Access has a new ad. It's 90s theme. I honestly I maybe should I is the group familiar that's singing
I don't know.
this?
I didn't know who. I don't know who they are. I didn't know who they were. I have
Yeah.
no clue. But I've seen people getting upset about it. For what reason though? I don't get it. Like, what's
It's a
the
damn joke.
yeah? What is it though? What was the joke? Because I
No,
didn't
no,
get it.
no. I'm just saying like the thing is Xbox, but their new marketing team ever since like 2019, 2020, their marketing team has just been kind of very socially aware. Like they know how to make things meme or make get things to trend or
Mm-hmm.
to get everybody like talking. And so people, I don't know, people I guess were tight about it, but it was like I look at the commercial as a joke. You know what I mean? They made an R&B music video about Xbox All Access and the Xbox Series S and Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't see
Um,
the.
but I think Kotaku, I didn't bother to read the article, but it said
Mhm.
I think their headline was Xbox new ad is black as hell. That's you saw that, right?
I think so, but it's Kotaku. I don't really pay too much
Yeah,
attention in
I
that.
was like, yeah, they trying to get. I don't know if they trying to get like canceled or whatever, but it was just like I don't get it. Even though like in the group there was a white dude in the video, a
Mhm.
part of the group, and I think another mixed dude, and I think it was like two black dudes that were at the center of it. But like I'm just like that's just okay.
Yeah, I like remember in the PS3 days when them commercials had the damn baby doll and all them weird
You know,
PS3
creepy ass
commercials.
commercials, yeah.
Yeah, the creepy. Yeah. So that I mean, it gets people talking. So
Yeah.
I Xbox just did what PlayStation did back in the day and got people talking. So you
Shout
know,
out to the people in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button. See some familiar names. Shout out to Hustle and Motivate. I see
yes sir,
Salty. I see Verge Brizzle.
yes, yes sir.
Um, Epic
Appreciate
man,
y'all
hit
coming
that.
out on a Saturday too.
Yeah,
And
please. You could
I
have
know
been
y'all busy.
anywhere in the world, but you're here with
Yeah.
us. So, um, please hit the like button and share it out. Share it out. Couple things happened this week. Um,
Hmm.
Nintendo release not release. They revealed the Switch OLED.
Switch OLED. Yes
Now,
sir.
I'm very confused, right? And I'm confused for the simple fact because this happened when I was at work and I couldn't really like just react the way I want to react.
Hmm.
Um, is this the Switch Pro upgrade that we were
No,
waiting for?
no.
It's not.
This is no. This is just a new model.
Oh, so it's just a new
Just a new model. Same internals, like same CPU, GPU,
Mhm.
RAM, and all that stuff. It just has an OLED screen. So, well, a 7-inch OLED screen. The screen is bigger from the 6.2 from the original, and it has a better kickstand instead of that little flimsy kickstand. The kickstand now goes the length of the Switch, and then it has enhanced audio, but which is basically all they did was give it bigger speakers, and they call it enhanced audio. So that's it. And the Switch dock has a Ethernet
Ethernet
port
port.
finally in
Finally, yeah,
2021.
yeah. Wow. I forgot when I had a Switch. It was Wi-Fi exclusive.
Wi-Fi, right? Exactly. Yeah.
um,
Well, but the thing is, I see with it being in the dock, right? I'm thinking you can only have it. You can only get wired support through the dock. I'm guessing that's the only way you can get it.
yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm about to
yeah.
say I don't know how it could transfer to it if you have it in handheld
No,
mode,
yeah,
but
because
yeah.
when I was like when I had to switch the throwback, like the launch switch, it was like, well, damn, I can't plug an Ethernet. I'm not going to buy an adapter. So it just
Mm.
stayed with like Wi-Fi on that point.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that means because they had to drop the USB port because there was a USB port back there before. It was USB, HDMI, and a power outlet, right?
I maybe, but I don't think so. Let
Yeah,
me
I know they don't
check.
have it now because they have the Ethernet port there, and they're limited to like 3 ports in the back.
Okay, so that okay. I
Um,
thought I okay.
so why does it cost more? It's 349 versus 299.
I guess the OLED screen. That's I mean that's my only guess is the OLED screen. Um,
I feel like the Switch has had already like
uh,
4 revisions though. Like
well, no, it had one revision so far where the battery life is better on the
yeah,
newer
so you have
original model.
yeah, so you had the original Switch, you got the
Hmm.
battery switch, and then you
Hmm.
have the Switch Lite,
Oh, the Switch Lite, yeah,
and now we're gonna have the Switch OLED.
OLED, yes,
So
yeah,
they're still in line to release a Switch
yeah. So that's what I
DS XL next year, an
mhm.
XL, a Switch XL next year or something like that.
That's what yeah, and that's what I said in my video. So I was like, the Switch Pro could still happen, but as of right now, all we got is this OLED model. So we'll see though.
But the thing is,
I,
it's like OLED at this point, it's not even a big deal because it's not new technology.
well, yeah, true that. Not new, but it's the best.
Yeah,
As far as when it comes to screens and picture quality, OLED is the best. So I'm guessing that's
but
literally why
isn't
they
it
had to
was it
start.
is a 720p OLED screen?
It is a 720. Yeah, that's
Okay,
correct. You
so
right.
even with the new dock,
Hmm.
there is no improvements even when it's docked.
No improvements.
So there is no benefit to those who play
Mhm.
docked
Correct.
for this, pretty much.
That's yeah, pretty much. You're correct. Yep. So yeah, that's what, and I'm getting one, but I don't have a Switch, so that's the only
Yeah,
reason why I'm getting one. If you already have one, I don't see this. I don't see a reason to upgrade. I mean, unless you just love OLED and you need OLED and its picture quality and its color and contrast, then I don't see a reason to upgrade. But it's going to sell out.
oh
It's
yeah,
Nintendo.
absolutely, absolutely.
But the good hold on, but the good thing is that there was some backlash about it on Twitter. There was
Mhm.
definitely people weren't really feeling like it's cool, but we wanted the Switch Pro. This is
Yeah.
okay, but this is not really what we wanted. But that Switch Pro is what we want, and there was people not feeling this. So, which I was shocked about because when it comes to Nintendo, a lot of people cap for Nintendo, and Nintendo can do no wrong in the eyes of many. So,
Yeah.
to see that pushback, I was kind of surprised about that.
Yeah, because the problem is that everyone was gearing themselves up for
Hmm.
a Switch Pro, even down to like from the rumors to the early reports. Remember, like what was it last month, 2 months ago? They were supposed to be announcing it any day now, right?
Yep.
But everybody was pretty much going, Switch Pro, like they're speaking as if it's going to be some sort of significant upgrade,
Hmm.
and to find out it's just the same Switch with a better screen
Hmm.
and a better dock. I mean that you can appreciate, but like I don't know, man. Like I said, I contemplate getting Switches all the time, but every time I buy a Switch, I end up selling it shortly after. That's the habit. Believe it or not, I've actually had 3 Switches.
Highly.
I had three
Sheesh.
Nintendo Switches, and I'm not even sure why. It's like I'll get it. I'm like, all right, I have it. Awesome. But when I have it, I'm not intrigued by any of the games. There's nothing I really want to play on it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's just I feel like the Switch is lifeless.
Yeah. I think till this day, Breath of the Wild is still the best game on Switch. Like
It's
by
gonna be that
far.
way until the second one comes out.
Until pretty much, yeah, pretty much. By far the best game on Switch. And I mean y'all know how I feel about Mario, so I mean take it how you will. So, but by far Breath of the Wild is still the best game to get on Switch. So
Gotcha. Shout out to Tony Esquire. He says, "Sup Smooth, yo, explain how I could play multiplayer Halo COD with my Xbox friends from PC. I'm prepared to wait till 2022 for retail consoles. Hashtag 3090 GPU." I don't get that. Like, I mean, and are you bigging up crossplay? You can. I know MCC. You know, is crossplay on your PC. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, crossplay is bigger now than what it was, before. And we're in a time where you don't really need. I mean, depending if you multiplayer centric gamer, you don't need a particular or specific platform or console. You can get away with just having your PC, or just get away with just having your Xbox or PlayStation, and not worried about not being able to play with friends. I think that's a trend we're headed towards anyway, and it's only gotten bigger over time. But yeah, man. I mean, you're happy with that 3090.
nice.
I think that card is bigger than the Xbox Series S, if I'm not
Jesus.
mistaken, in terms of size. So I don't even know if
Yeah.
that could fit in my PC.
Sheesh. Shit, I'm still trying to get a 3070, man. I can't
Dude,
find the one for nothing.
Dope Boy got one and he sold it
Yeah,
immediately. And I was like,
yeah.
damn, dude, like,
Listen,
why didn't you tell me you were
look,
selling it?
yeah. And he told me the price too. I wouldn't have bought it for that price, but
How much
at
he
least
told? Wait, what did he tell you?
he was he sold it for 8.
800?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So but I was like, man, damn, you could at least came to me, man,
Yeah.
for but yeah,
What's the
but yeah, he
retail
got it.
on a 3070?
I think it's like 499,
Really?
either 499 or 599, one of those two. So he came up. He came up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm still trying to find one. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to upgrade. Like I said, I'm 30, 20, 10. I'm 3 generations behind on GPU side of things. I still have a 980 Ti. That was the hot card in
Sheesh.
2016. So, but the thing is, and I learned very quickly that I could not be a PC guy, PC gamer, or I couldn't keep up. And the crazy thing is, I'll buy stuff that I want and whatnot. Obviously consoles, controllers, games, whatever, or stuff to enhance my YouTube stuff. But like I feel like graphic cards, right? New series or new generations of graphic cards come out every year, and I feel like I wouldn't be able to keep up. And because the thing is, I'm not pressed to upgrade my PC like that. And the fact that I'm still on my 980 Ti, it's like, yeah, like that would be like, all right, 980, then get the 10 series, then the 20 series, and the 30 series. By the time I'm ready to get a hold of the 30 series, right, the 40 series is gonna be out, and it's just like, fuck it.
Yeah, man, just go at your own pace.
Yeah.
So that's what I say. Yeah, I think when I finally get my PC together, I probably won't even be on it like that. Really, I'm just too simplistic. Man.
Yeah.
That's why I got an iPhone. So I'm simple. Consoles are simple, plug and play. That's me. I don't have to deal with all that. What do you call it? The blue screen of death and troubleshooting and all that. I don't want to deal with all that. So. When the PC gets here, it'll get here. I'm in no rush to get it, so or to put it to all together. But
So Sony had a state of play, right? Now, when the announcement came, I think the announcement came after their podcast. They typically announce it one day and it happens 3 days later. Now I completely missed it because it took place when I was at work. So I didn't even bother watching the recap, but there was disappointment prior to it going live because they tell you what it's going to be about. They put out the blog post, Deathloop, and some independent titles.
yeah, indies and third parties.
Yeah.
There should have been. Well, I mean, if you were. There should have been disappointment only if you didn't like the games, right? Like there shouldn't have been disappointment like going into the state of play because Sony told you what what was happening.
I think the disappointment, I don't know if there was disappointment as far as to the show because I didn't see the show and I didn't see much reaction to the show. But prior to the show, there was a lot of talk because everybody was expecting PlayStation's E3 equivalent.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And
Which
so,
that's what we're waiting on.
yeah,
We don't want this what they showed. It's cool that you showed it, but we want where is our E3 press conference or E3 press conference? That's what we want to see. We want to see the big games, man. We don't want to see this. Sorry.
yeah,
So, but I mean, what they showed was I liked a couple games. Probably literally just a couple games, like only two games that I liked. Other stuff
yeah.
wasn't for me.
Run me through the show. What
So
was shown? What happened? What was the like? 'Cause like I said, I didn't even watch the playback yet.
I didn't watch it live, but I obviously caught the playback. So they started off with Moss Book 2. That's the VR with the mouse.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
started
the
off.
mouse. Yeah, so this is a sequel then.
Yes, a sequel.
Okay.
Yes, sequel. No release date as of yet, and so that just leads me to believe that it's coming out with the new VR that's coming for PS5. I mean, people who liked the first one, not let me rephrase that. People liked the first one, so they said it was pretty good. So I don't see why this wouldn't be just as good.
Yeah.
I can't do VR though because I get motion sickness like real easy. So me and VR wouldn't coexist at all. And then so yeah, but yeah, they showed Moss Book 2. Then they showed this arcade again or arcade getting like kind of like Armageddon, I guess. It's an online shooter. It kind of looks like a Fortnite, but without the building, because there's loot and stuff in this game, and there's like different tiers of weapons and stuff. Looks cartoony. I was watching Persona play it a little bit. It looked okay. It's in early access for like $20 right now. So whoever wants to check that out. Not for me. That game just didn't look for me at all. But I don't know. I haven't heard any reception on it so far. So I'm guessing not too many people played it like that.
Gotcha. Oh,
But
so was it like a self drop?
yeah, yep. Because it went into early access yesterday, the day of
Okay.
the state of play.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much a stealth drop. Yeah, and then they showed Tribes of Midgard, which we've seen that before. That's that Viking survival. It's like you gotta get food and build huts and shit, and you get armor and stuff like that. I think we've seen that at the last state of play, if I'm not mistaken, but they just show more gameplay. I don't like survival games.
Yeah.
I don't get down with the building and the hunting for food and making sure. I don't like micromanaging.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't,
Just
yeah,
like yeah, I don't like that shit either.
yeah. So that's why, yeah, that game is not for me in the slightest. So, and then after that, they show Fist. That's the game with the bunny with the big ass robot arm on his back.
Yeah.
They showed that like a couple state of plays ago. That game looks dope. It's a side scroller action, like an action adventure side scroller. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like a Metroidvania type side scroller where you gotta get collectibles and do a lot of backtracking and stuff like that. It didn't look like that when they showed the gameplay. It just looks like a point A to point B
Yeah.
beat 'em up side scroller. Looks really good though. Graphically, it looks good. Gameplay wise, it looks good. And that comes out this year, next month on September 7th. So I'm picking that up. That's a day one for me. That game looks good. I liked it before when they first showed it though. But then so after Fist, they showed a game called Hunter's Arena, which is a battle royale game, but it's a fighter. It's a fighting battle royale, like with weapons and fisticuffs type battle
Is it like
royale.
fucking? All right, so there's a couple of these games that keep coming out, like Gang Beast and all this other shit, and Animal Party Animal. They're pretty much these like pseudo Smash Bro games, but they're not like Smash Bros. They're just like these this process of elimination, these long drawn out elimination games.
So no, this looks nothing like a Smash Bros
Okay.
clone. When I first saw it, like when they first shown it, I thought it was just like a regular single player action adventure game.
Okay.
Kind of looks like Final Fantasy a little bit, if you ask me. So I thought, hey, I can get down with this, but
Hmm.
when they said battle royale, I
Oh.
was out. Nah, I don't like battle royale at all. I think it's getting played out, and this is a big skill. But yeah, it's a fighter battle royale. You get weapons. You get I'm guessing you get like kind of upgrades or whatnot.
Isn't that like
Um,
the
you
culling?
get say that again.
Well, oh, wait, what is it? First person or no?
No, it's third person.
Third
Third
person.
person.
Okay, I feel like
Hmm.
there's a window of time where I think this game called like the culling came out. And it was ended up being a fucking battle royale. It was more melee than I don't think there was any shooting in it, but I know it was primarily melee. The Darwin Project, primarily melee. I don't know if that made it out of
I
game previews.
yeah, I don't know if that's if that's this. I'm not sure, but
No,
this
no. I
yeah.
don't think they're the same. But I'm just saying in terms of similar, like. But then again, you said it's like a third person. Is it behind
Yeah.
the shoulder or like?
Yeah,
Okay.
behind the shoulder. Well, the camera's kind of pulled back a little bit, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's behind the shoulder a bit. So they showed that battle royale. PlayStation Plus members download download it on August 3rd. So if you guys want to check that out, I didn't like it. It didn't. At first, it did appeal to me, like I said, but once they said battle royale, I'm out and next skip. And then after that, they showed Sifu, which
They've
still
been
looks
seeing that,
incredible.
showing that a lot. That's the
Hmm. That's that
uh,
martial arts.
yeah.
So
When's that coming out? Is that another September release or what's up?
so that got delayed to 2022,
Oh, really?
which I'm very upset about that because I was looking forward to that. Because I like the concept of it where you die and then you age, right? And
Hmm.
then I'm guessing like with age comes wisdom, you know that saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm guessing like with the wisdom, you can like unlock different move sets or different skill sets or whatnot. So you can then prevail over the person who killed you. So the combat looks great, you know, but we known that from when they previously showed it. So it just looks like visceral, right? Like it looks like it's punches hard and all these crazy karate moves and shit like that. So I'm definitely down for that. But it did get delayed to 2022, which sucks big time.
Okay. And before you get
And
to the
then
other one, let me just catch up on Tony Esquire's super chats.
oh word.
He says my military post got some Series S units in. I may get one for playing with my boys. Not my PC is devastating. Don't need Series X or PS5 right now. The Halo Infinite gameplay looks really good. However, releasing anywhere near Battlefield 2042 is risky, in my opinion. Even caught duck and dice this holiday. And he says second chat had a typo. Not bragging. My PC is devastating. That's what he meant to say.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Tony Esquire. Thank you for the super chats.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm gonna address a couple of those comments you meant after we get after this state of the play. Uh, thoughts.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Almost done. They showed this game called Jet, a far shore. It's kind of it's like a sci-fi type game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are making fun of this game as saying that it's PlayStation Starfield.
Is that why I saw that image?
With them weird looking characters, yeah. Yeah, that's
Wow.
the that game looks absolutely boring to me. I pay no mind to that game. I have no interest in that game whatsoever. Even in my video, I just said, not for me, skip, let's move on. Because that game just I don't understand the concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because I wasn't paying attention to it. That's why I don't understand it. But yeah, that game looks boring. Looks next. Let's move on. Let's just move on. So it's called Jet Afar Shore or Shore Afar, some shit like that. I don't know. After that, they showed Demon Slayer, which is based off the anime Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Demon Slayer is huge in the anime. Like it's up there with like the Naruto's and the Dragon Balls and the My Hero
I
Academia.
saw it
I
on the
haven't watched.
pre-order. I saw it on a pre-order store on the Xbox.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet myself. Not sure if I'm even going to watch it, but I know how popular it is, and so yeah, Demon Slayer. For those who are into that, it comes out October 15th of this year.
Okay.
So there's that. Then they got Lost Judgment, which is the sequel to Judgment. It's Judgment. No,
Yeah.
they did add some new stuff to it. So I like Judgment and I completed it. But I just thought like the side stuff was just too goofy. And if it was just strictly story campaign, like story missions, I'm cool with that because the story was dope. You know, the story and even the gameplay was dope. I'm not even gonna lie about that either. But it's just the others, right?
Yeah.
Everything was just so goofy, and I didn't really get down with that. So, Lost Judgment looks like more goofiness. So, but I'm pretty sure the main story is going to be dope though. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I get this, it'll probably be on sale. I'm not even gonna. Yeah.
Oh, you're not
Yeah.
buying. You're not day one in. Day
No,
one
hell nah,
even
nah.
after you beat the game.
I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, because I couldn't, nah. Because like I don't want to feel like I waste my money by just doing the main campaign.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not doing that side stuff. It's just too weird for me anyway. Then the infamous Death Stranding director's cut. Death Stranding director's cut for PS5. New they do got a lot of new content in this. I'm not. I know we're gonna talk about this upgrade real quick, but with this one, I can kinda understand the $10 upgrade. Kind of. I still would have liked it for free, but I can kind of understand it though, because it got a lot of new stuff in it. Like it got new battles, new combat mechanics. Like dude drop kick somebody. I was like, oh shit,
Okay.
just straight up drop kicked him. But there's obviously more combat moves than the drop kick. New weapons, has a firing range training mode. New content, like new story content, and it has this racing circuit mode, like you're racing cars. I think it's only against two people though. Like, well, it's you and another person. So I guess I think you can like build your tracks, or they may be pre-built tracks. Don't quote me on that one. I don't know about the tracks. So, but yeah, they got a lot that they added new. What's some things called where you can like you can just like put shit in the world. I forget what they call it.
Just strands, bridges.
Yeah, like yeah, they got
Hold
new
on
stuff
one
like
moment,
that.
Jared. Hold on.
Okay. I don't know if y'all want me to keep going, but I'll just keep talking about Death Stranding. So yeah, they got the new bridges. Well, why am I talking about it? He ain't here. He the one who need to hear. So yeah, I'll wait for a minute.
All right, my bad.
$10 slow news. Slow news. We'll talk about that. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh, you good? So yeah, they added a lot of new stuff, and it has a performance mode, upscale 4K 60 frames. So that's good. That's dope.
Okay.
It also has this native 4K mode as well. So that's good. And then that comes out September 24th, which is the same day that Lost Judgment comes out, September 24th.
All right. So even though there's releases, those are like sort of light releases. You get a re-release and
And it's a sequel.
Yeah.
Lost Judgment is a sequel. From what I've been told, it's a sequel anyway. But yeah, so and it is a $10 upgrade. Like I said, I can kind of understand this one, but you know me, man. I love my free upgrades, and I mean, I wasn't buying this game regardless, But if it would have said free upgrade, I would have praised it even more. But yeah, so they showed Death Stranding director's cut, and I think that's a thing with these Sony native ports. I think they're just gonna call them director's cuts from from now on. Because we got the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut. Now we got this director's cut.
I gotta
I
get The
wouldn't be
Last of Us.
right, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if the Last of Us director's cut it's called director's cut, and they have new content and they charge. I'm not. I'm pretty sure they're going to charge
Yeah,
too,
it's not
but
gonna be free.
yeah, we'll see. I hope. I hope so, but we'll see. So then after Death Stranding, they ended with Deathloop, and Deathloop is Deathloop. If what they showed before, they pretty much showed it again. Not the same exact thing, but what we saw before is pretty much what we got this time. So
Gotcha.
Deathloop is Deathloop. I don't know if I'm getting that game. At first, I was like, okay, this is something I can get down with. But I don't know, man. It's just something is throwing me off to where I don't want to get this game. And I think it's two things, right?
What's
I
this?
think it's one. I think it looks too much like Dishonored, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, as far as powers and shit like that. And then the second one is when the Returnal shit. When you die, you start over, and I don't want to do that again. Like I went through that with Returnal, and that's just not for me, man. So I don't think I'm gonna pick this up. If I do, though, this will be another one that's I'll pick it up on the sale or something.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
We definitely got some things to talk about. All right. So overall, there was just really just I don't know. I feel like I didn't miss anything because I've seen Deathloop a couple times already. Like
yeah.
extended looks, like they had like a preview of Game Informer, I believe. And
Hold up, can I address something real quick?
yeah.
Let's just get into the upgrade thing real quick.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
Before we do that, let me just read
Okay.
Verge's super chats. He was like, Dre, Jet look way better than Starfield.
No, I'll play. No,
He said,
no.
oh, never
Oh
mind. I'm
no.
kidding. All right, my bad. All right, go. All right, we can address these upgrades, man.
That shit look ass, dog, for real. But okay, so Christopher Hart said we still complaining about quality games getting a $10 upgrade, right? And okay, so at first I came out right and said upgrades should be free, right? But as I thought about it, I see I can still have that opinion, but I understand, you know, devs want to be compensated because they're putting more time into these games, right?
Okay.
But here's my thing though. I still want free upgrades, and here's why. If we weren't getting free upgrades on the regular from pretty much everywhere else, you dig? That's then I can understand, them,
Yeah.
if everybody had us pay for free upgrades, then okay, how can I say anything about that, right?
Yeah.
But because the majority are giving us free upgrades, and it's not just a resolution bump and a frames bump, right? They're giving us native ports, and some are even giving us 120 frames and ray tracing and all, like the Doom. The perfect example is the Doom upgrade, which is free. You see how much work they put into that. We get 3 modes with that, and those developers still took their time. They have to take the time to create that, and they still gave it to us for free, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, because the majority is giving us this for free, that in itself is making me hesitant to purchase a free upgrade because I'm getting all this shit for free.
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it. But I understand people's take on them saying that, devs should be compensated and for their work and all that stuff. But then, like I said, on the flip side, we getting this stuff for free and they're doing the same thing. So, I'm kind of stuck, man. Well, I'm not stuck. I want free upgrades, but it's a tug of war battle with this right now. So I don't know. What's your thoughts about it?
Yeah, my thoughts is pretty consistent. Like ever since everybody was fighting for our wallets last year when they were hyping free upgrade to the PS5 version or Xbox version when you buy this game, and Xbox was touting smart delivery, and then PlayStation side they were coming with their free upgrade on PS5 and now the thing that just kind of has me kind of hit by this is that it's first party, and that's what like third party is like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I would like for them to do it, you know, but I know it's either hit or miss. First party, it's like I'm almost expecting any upgrade that I get, and maybe because I primarily play on Xbox, so maybe I don't know how PlayStation does this, but the thing is that's weird about PlayStation though is they already have given us free upgrades for stuff like Spider-Man and I'm trying to think what else game that was cross-gen that they were able to do. So so they already showed that they're willing to do that, or they go back and do their BC plus upgrades and whatnot to at least make them better. So I get what they're doing now by doing these director's cuts. They're pretty much technically what they're doing is just like, you know what, F it. This is more than a free upgrade. This is a new SKU. This is a game of the year edition. This is a collector's edition. So now
basically getting our $70 pretty much.
Yeah, that argument goes out the window because they're throwing they're throwing all this some content in there to try to add the value to it. So if that's how they're gonna be doing it, then so be it. It's just at the end of the day, but I always felt when I bought games, if I own the game, right, and the developer or publisher elected to release a game of the year version of that game, or some sort of like, and sometimes these things come out less than a year than from what they released. I feel like I should be obligated to that upgrade to that game because I already bought the game and I was there day one. So I should have been either I don't know, but I always, and this is before like next gen upgrades. It's like I remember this shit happened with like Mafia 3, right? I feel like, and I'm almost certain, I could be wrong, but I feel like my Mafia 3 should have been by default turned into the definitive edition one when they released the definitive, when they started to do that trilogy shit. They went ahead and re-released Mafia 3. I don't know if they did anything different to it, but I owned the expensive version of Mafia 3. So I was like, whatever is in that version, my shit better update once this game released to that version.
Gotcha.
That was my attitude about it. So I've always had that energy. So I mean, it's just not a good look when you consider the fact that there are publishers, whether it be third party, other first party publishers, putting out games or giving these free upgrades where they're doing more than just a resolution boost. Hell, that whack ass game Crisis, right? They added a mission that wasn't playable on the PS4 and Xbox One version, but when the game upgraded to the Series X and PS5 version, you got a new mission. I mean, that was a part of the upgrade. So somebody could say, well, they added content. Well, other games added content too. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but that's the direction it looks like they're going. And when you're the market leader, you can get away with stuff like this. I mean, people brag about how many games and copies that PlayStation sells, and they know with going into the PS5, they're not going to be selling 10 million of anything, right? Not yet. They're not going to be selling 10 million. A single copy of a Ratchet & Clank right now isn't going to sell 10 million. It just doesn't. The install base isn't there. So what they're doing during this buffer time is making money on games that they already released, and they know that hunger is there because even though PlayStation has all the games, there's still not enough games that have released. So that's why, these Death Strandings and Ghost of Tsushima's have re-releases. That they're part of the releases for this year. They're not new games, but they're part of the releases for this year. It's actually unfair because when we were counting like last year, right? When I was counting Gears 5 and Forza Horizon 4, that's exactly what they were. They just didn't have sub names. They were actual native ports for the proper console. Yep. But I couldn't count them because they came out years prior. One came out in 2019, one came out in 2018. I can't count them. Even though this is just a port for this version. This is the Xbox Series X version of this game. Especially Forza Horizon 4 was done by a different developer. Playground didn't even do that version. So, but I couldn't count it. So now PlayStation's doing the same thing. Death Stranding came out in 2019. It's getting a director's cut, but it's counting as we're hitting you guys with games this year. PlayStation is loaded for 2021. But at the end of the year, when you look at all the releases, it's not going to be that impressive. And I got a question for you, Dre. Right? Question for you. PlayStation's biggest release. Tell me if you agree with this. It's either Deathloop or it has already released already. For this year. For this year.
Yeah, depends on if Horizon is this year. If Horizon is this year, then obviously it's going to be Horizon. But yeah, because I mean, yeah, you factor in Ratchet and Clank, which could be the biggest release for this year. Yeah, Deathloop, Ratchet.
You have it. Returnal came out.
Returnal, yeah.
I'm trying, and Kenna's obviously next, but it's not a major release.
Kenna's going. Yeah, Returnal did pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
but
I guess it already released, like you said. So
I'm looking at a couple factors, right? Like now, if Horizon come out this year, I mean that'll be dope. Then I was like, all right, Horizon is going to be the crowning achievement for PlayStation this year, right?
Right.
That's what we're expecting. But it's July 10th, right? PlayStation wasn't at E3. They had State of Plays where they already showcased Horizon Forbidden West. We didn't get a release date with it. They've had showcase Deathloop already 2-3 times this year already. They obviously Ratchet and Clank came, Returnal came, God of War. They already said it was. They already confirmed that is going to be next year or so like that, or it was obviously it's not coming this year. When is PlayStation's E3 event? Because that was supposed to happen in June. It didn't happen.
That was the rumor. Yeah,
that was the rumor.
It was the rumor.
Then that rumor got delayed till July 6th, and they were close because they did get the state of play, but it was Deathloop. Yeah. And so now we're gonna say we're just gonna delay a month. Like, all right, August they're gonna show us a game.
That's the new rumor again. August is the new rumor again. So yeah, I still think I think they're gonna have an event. I do think they're gonna have an event. As far as Horizon, I'll put it like this: if Horizon is at the event, I just think we'll get a trailer and a release date, right? If it's not there, then my other thing is we'll get something in a blog post, right? But if it's not there, then I think it's getting delayed till early 2022. So it's 2 chances for Horizon to drop a release date, and if it's not at either, then I'm thinking it's getting delayed to early 2022. So I hope not, because because Deathloop isn't going to attract a lot of people. It's definitely going to have its audience, right? But Horizon is that game, that can attract a lot of people. So I hope it's there.
Yeah, I hope it's there too, because
the holiday, then what they got for the holiday, really.
Remember, PlayStation, the only holiday releases PlayStation typically do, right? Obviously, last year was different because you had a console launch, right? So you had your launch titles, so that's all right, whatever. But generally, when they're not in console launch years, their hits come out early, top of the year, spring, late spring at the latest, right? Death Stranding was the one game that was out of rotation that wasn't a spring hit. That was a November game. But when you think of Uncharted, The Last of Us, you think of the Horizons, they're typically spring.
Yeah.
God of War was an April game. Yeah. Like, they're typically spring. Like, all of their big games came out at the first half or the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, but the thing is that those games have legs. Like they had legs, throughout the entire calendar year.
Yeah. They sold
Um,
throughout the yeah.
so but that's what I'm saying. So, but I don't know what is that game for this year that has those legs that can carry out throughout the remainder of the year. I don't. Maybe it could be Ratchet. I can see that. I can see Ratchet
But
going
how
on
has
a.
Ratchet's been performing? I haven't heard PlayStation do their typical posts.
Uh, I think it was number one in the UK.
I mean, every game's
Um,
number 1 in the UK.
True that. That's the thing. Like we really don't hear too much about US numbers until the guy
Yeah,
from
but
on
PlayStation
Twitter.
typically it takes about
Yeah,
3 days, right?
3 days. Yeah,
PlayStation
3
on
days.
average, their big games sell this many million before the week is
Within
out.
3 days. Yeah,
And
that's
a
true. That
PlayStation is usually quick to come out, tell you, boom, oh, this game did this, da da da. We're so proud, da da da. It broke this many records, the fastest selling. I haven't heard any of that.
Me neither. I haven't heard anything either. That's why we really don't know anything US until MPD.
MPDs, that's going to be all right.
Yeah,
Now,
pretty much.
all right. So in that case, and the MPD should be actually Ratchet was June. Yeah, the MPD should be soon.
It'll be
Probably
coming. Yeah,
next week.
soon.
Yeah. So,
I think Ratchet did well.
do you think it's the number one seller for the month of June?
Oh, she number one seller for the month of June. As far as PlayStation or as far as
No, of
all
course. Of
play?
course
That's
mean,
what.
overall, of course, it's the number one seller on PlayStation.
Overall, no, not overall.
Yeah.
No. But as far as for PlayStation, yes, I think it would be number one. But overall, no.
Shout out to Tony
I,
S. Go ahead.
I think it'll probably hit five or six.
You think it hit
I
five
think
or
it,
six? So if it hit
yeah,
5 or 6, it's not breaking no records. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. If 5 or 6, PlayStation is usually it got.
But you got to remember though, because it's always the GTA's, the 2Ks, and the Call of Duties.
Those are in the month where there's
top
nothing
five.
releasing. When nothing major releases.
We'll see.
Now,
them
if it's
games
top 5, I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm just saying for PlayStation big releases, they easily hit number 1 or top 3, depending on. I don't know what happened to Death Stranding. I think Death Stranding was maybe a top 8 when it
I don't know,
came
though.
out,
I don't know.
and that wasn't received too well in terms of sales because Sony didn't speak about it.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I mean, they didn't speak about Returnal, but I think we know that Returnal did pretty good for it. It met expectations.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
put it like
it
that.
was
Yeah.
easily Housemarque's biggest or best selling game easily because they didn't. You know what I mean? They usually make games nobody's checking for. You kind of. It's like their games are pretty much word of mouth with the exception of this one.
Right.
Shout out to Tony Esquire. He says, "I'm not going to cry for free upgrades, but anyone who buys Ghost or any other snatch and grab upgrades for $70 is a moron. Keep it 100."
Well, technically, if you do the upgrade, you're not paying 70.
Yeah, you are because you bought the original game for 60.
Well, okay, yeah. Okay, yes. Look at that like that. Okay, but the way they worded it, they said 30.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
these upgrades. I don't know, man. Like, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I mean, people accept it. People, already say, they like, they're willing to spend. They like where they're headed. It reminds me of the thing like, all right, so you got these upgrades because every time PlayStation has one of these director's cut, there are people are hiding. They're finally getting those, the performance mode, the native 4K if it's available. They're getting this content. There's going to be, more than enough people to defend the act of selling this game. This whole compensation. The developers need to be compensated.
Man, you bring that up. That's actually something that I had brought up because I remember I had told you I was in a Twitter Spaces with Code and my boy D Gaines, and I actually had brought that up. I'm like, how? I was just basically trying to find an understanding of how does the minority, how does their voice speak out and to let these developers know that we want free upgrades. How do their voices get heard when the majority are buying these upgrades? And and that's what these developers see. They don't hear the minority. They see these people paying for these
Yeah,
upgrades,
yeah.
and that's all they care about, really. So that's what I'm saying. How does the lower of the totem pole, how do they get their voices heard? To try
They
to,
don't, because
I'm,
they keep getting
yeah,
silenced by these bigger guys
right,
and the fans, the real fans. That tells you, you know what I mean, like, developers should be compensated, and nobody's saying that developers shouldn't be compensated, but you guys
right.
act that as if developers are literally paid on like unit sell commissions, like to the point where every copy that you buy, he's getting like $5. So
Shit,
you
boy,
gotta buy,
yeah.
you gotta buy this game. Like these dudes have most developers, if I'm not mistaken, if somebody correct me if I'm wrong, has already been paid, or they get paid a salary for these games. It's not like no one's going homeless for not charging you for director's cut. Kojima Productions, his studio is not going to shut down if he gave you the director's cut for free, because Sony gave him a big fat ass check to make an exclusive game for PlayStation. He did that. He was paid. PlayStation probably owns the IP, so they have the right to do whatever they want with that IP in terms of make as many versions of it and resell it. So Kojima at this point, it probably ain't making shit off the director's cut because he already got paid. If anything, he's probably making royalties. Like, so stop it. Stop. The developers aren't going broke. For like free upgrades ain't keeping the lights on. It's not. And
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. I see my boy Gaines. He says sales, right? And how do you beat that? Like how? Like if the majority are buying it, there's no way to beat
Yeah.
sales. If the there's no way for the Lord totem pole to get heard if sales is the deciding factor. There's no
Yeah.
way to beat it. So I mean, again, we pretty much just asked out, and if we want free upgrades from Sony's, pretty much just asked out at that point because
Hey,
how can you
Sony know
beat that?
what their fans want, bro. Like they know what their
Yeah,
fans want.
how can you beat that? There's no way you can beat that at all.
When The Last of Us come out, how many other
Hmm.
how many other games they about to do? Bloodborne's gonna come out and that shit gonna be $70 when it come out. Imagine damn near 6-year hiatus and that shit about to return at $70.
Yeah,
There's so many games they can literally
it's
do this
just
with.
yeah,
God
it's
of
just
War
nothing you
got
can.
delayed. They can make a director's cut version of God of War until Ragnarok comes out. It can be a buffer. Like,
Yeah, yes,
um,
it's just we just asked out, man. No, there's no no way to beat that at all.
Strictly Gaming says
So
because the voice won't outweigh sales. That's why
that's
COD the
it.
way it is. Example: people complain about sales are still crazy high. Same goes for this.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much
That's
what we're
it.
saying. There's no
Yeah.
way to beat it. So it's either you buy it or you don't. If you see value in it, you get
Yeah.
it. If you don't, then you don't. That's just what it is at this point. Indeed. So
So another thing happened. So every week, a lot of these, there's a lot of, I partake in the fanboy wars, the console wars, PlayStation, Xbox. Every week, these PlayStation guys post, how much smaller PlayStation 5 versions of games are on PS5 versus the Xbox, and they're making a case for their the small ass SSD that has yet to be
it's,
expanded in the PS5 yet, right?
mhm.
So, and they do this, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I get it. It's impressive, you know what I mean? I'm not mad at that, but they keep comparing it to Xbox, and I keep thinking to myself, all right. There's one glaring hole. Not when there's actually multiple glaring holes that PlayStation promised that hasn't come into fruition with yet, and that's the ability to use third-party SSD storage to expand your storage and store your to increase the size of your SSD space. Right, you have that fucking empty space and it's places where the SSD can go, but right now there's no compatible SSD available for it yet. And
Right.
since it's been taking so long, PlayStation has did this Kraken update, which reduces the size of games. So now PlayStation 5 versions of select games are, significantly smaller than the Xbox version. So a lot of these people are now justifying the small 600 gig hard drive that PlayStation has, and they're saying, well, you could fit this many games on it, and if you install the same exact games on the Xbox, you would have this much space left on the PlayStation versus this much space left on the Xbox. So how I took that was like, okay, so because PlayStation found a way to make their game smaller, and as long as they're smaller than Xbox, you guys are fine with them not coming through on their promise to expand the storage. That's all I hear.
Okay.
That's because that's all I hear.
I can see that, but to the defense of PlayStation, and even myself, we have been on Sony about where's the SSD. I know I have, because that was one of the first things that I complained about before these whole compression files and everything. That was one of the first things I complained about, was that these games is I'm getting too many games. Where's my SSD for it so I can expand? And that has been out there. Gamers have been complaining about the SSD. I don't know, man. Like I don't know what Sony is waiting for. Where is it? I don't know. I don't know. It's literally, we just gotta wait. I mean, there's nothing we can do at this point, but to wait. But it is good that these files are getting compressed so that we can fit more games on the hard drive. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We complained about that.
I don't know. It's just something that I just find like funny. I feel like when there's like a flaw and they find something, as long as it's like done or it's perceived to be better than what Xbox is doing, I feel like it's like, okay, it's good enough.
I'll put it like this. If I'll say this is equivalent to Xbox not having any major first party titles, and you guys are okay with it because of Game Pass. I'll just put it like that. I mean, I think that's a fair trade. I think that's a fair 1-to-1. Okay, we complain about SSD, and Xbox we don't complain, and Xbox guys don't complain about major first party titles. So I think we can. I think these can cancel. Yeah, I think these can cancel.
The thing about that, though, right? About the Game Pass situation and the lack of major first party titles, because at the end of the day, right? It's not like the Xbox is without Xbox is still getting 90% of the games that release.
No, Smooth, we're not doing that.
As a bonus, we happen to get some of those games day one in the service. So it's not like I don't need a game. I would love for Xbox obviously to produce, and when Xbox games start coming out, sure, I'm gonna be the first one to bring my torch out and wave them in the air. But the thing is, though, a game for the Xbox doesn't only operate on games made exclusively for Xbox.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm not finding the point where it's like, all right, I need Xbox to make this game. Xbox needs to publish this game for my experience on this platform to be relevant.
Every new generation, there's at least 1 or 2 exclusive games that show off the the early capabilities of the hardware. We not new to this, right? So the fact that Xbox didn't have that and still doesn't have, Xbox still doesn't have a first party game to show off the capabilities of the Xbox Series X. Like, we 7 to 8 months into this, and they still don't have a game to show off the true capabilities of the Series X. Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta feel some type of way about that, man.
I don't know. I'll say this. I've been extremely satisfied with the experience on Xbox Series consoles to date. Now, I'm pretty sure my feelings and my thoughts would have been much more enhanced if I had like that technical achievement, that tech demo that they released it at launch. To like, all right, this can only be done on the Series X. I'm pretty sure my experience would have been heightened. But I honestly, at this moment, I do not feel like I'm missing anything yet. Not to say that it's okay for them not to. I just haven't felt like I missed anything. I don't feel like I'm without something right now. Like I don't know. Maybe it's good ass marketing. I don't know.
I'm just like even like like Ratchet and Clank. Obviously, that game shows what the PS5 can do in terms of SSD and whatnot. But like even a title like that, Xbox doesn't even have like I don't know if you want to call that AAA or double A and a half or
I don't know.
Like just some.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know what I miss. I don't know what people want. People say, "Oh, we want a game like Ratchet and Clank." And I mean, are you guys? I mean, is y'all still playing Ratchet and Clank out there? I'm just. I mean,
okay.
Like I don't know. I can't even honestly say. And this is good. And I know people are gonna get on me about this. But I don't know. Like when I play Ratchet and Clank, now I love Ratchet and Clank as a franchise. I have nothing against this Ratchet and Clank. I don't know. I don't see anything about Ratchet and Clank. I was like, all right, man, this is what I've been waiting for next gen. When I play Ratchet and Clank, I was like, wow, I haven't played Ratchet and Clank in a while. But I didn't say, oh my god, this is what I need. This is PS5. Ratchet and Clank haven't given me that. Returnal definitely didn't give me that. Like
Ratchet and Clank didn't give you that feeling like this is what. This is what the capabilities can do early on for PS5.
It has it, and now what? I remember I didn't beat the game yet, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people was hyping up this towards the end of the game where some shit happens where it's like, all right, this is definitely couldn't be done on a PS4 or something like that, right?
Okay.
So right now, but as terms of what I'm looking and what I'm playing, when I play the game, it's like, okay, it looks good. Every time a Ratchet and Clank game came out, I always thought it looked good. It hasn't been an ugly Ratchet and Clank for its time. For its time, every time Ratchet and Clank came out, for its time, it was always a very impressive looking game. Like so visually, I don't know if they can do anything more to impress me. It's because like I'm at a point where it's like, all right, I expect Ratchet and Clank to look like this. I mean, the last one wasn't a bad looker at all. In terms of like this whole SSD switching and stuff like that, I'm still early in the game though. I don't find it that like impressive. I don't like when he pulls in, which brings you to a different part of the map. You're just going closer. It's just literally you're just skipping the jump option pretty much. Okay. That's all you pretty much do. Just skipping the jump option. I know there's some parts in certain stages you go through an alternate version of that, stage, and it's like. But honestly, at that time when I play, I'm not thinking like, oh my god, this can't be done. But it's like, But I feel like there were similar situations that happened, like when Titanfall, when they were doing that time travel. I felt like I was doing similar shit at a switch of a button. He would tap his watch, and the shit would switch, and I'm like. And I would switch back and forth. So it's like, I'm not sure if I had the experience yet on either console, like, man, this is truly a next generation experience. Like, oh, I feel like I have my PS5 tech demo or my Xbox Series tech demo. Matter of fact,
I think Game Pass is clouding your judgment.
I think Game Pass.
I think Game Pass and the value of Game Pass is clouding your judgment.
No, because at the end of the day, I played. All right, so I played all sorts of games on Game Pass. I played like complete dog shit on Game Pass before that had like that. I know for a fact doesn't use the power of Xbox, and it's just like I don't think that does anything. No, because for example, let's just do something. Let's say if they delayed. Maybe no. Maybe because PS4 had experiences that weren't too far off from what we got now. For example, let's say The Last of Us Part 2 got delayed from July, from June 2020 when it released to a PS5 launch title. If we got the same exact game on PS5 just at 60 frames per second at the launch title, I would have been like, oh shit, because this is next gen. I'm still at the point where when I played The Last of Us Part 2, I was like, this is probably, I don't know how much better you can get from a video game standpoint, design, visuals, and all that other shit.
Oh shit!
So,
You know what I think? It can look like that E3 demo, and then I'll be, then I'll be like, okay, that's taking it up to
but the
another.
thing is, I feel like I haven't gotten that impressed. So the last game I was impressed by like that to those heights where I felt like I was touching next generation was The Last of Us Part 2, even though I was playing on the PS4
But that's the thing
Pro.
though. Peep this though. That's the thing. That's first party, right? That's first party. So peep this.
Yeah, but it was yeah.
But imagine if Game Pass didn't exist, right? You would be playing only new third party games,
All
right?
right, all right. I got
So
you.
then,
So
like,
now you have to. All right,
where
so now what you're doing is which is fair.
where's my
Which is
exclusive,
fair.
dog?
Which is fair. Which
Okay.
you made a fair argument. Had not been for Game Pass, all right, maybe Game Pass is. I don't think it's clouding my judgment on game consumption. I don't think it's clouding my judgment on my next gen experience. Right? Game consumption. Yes, if there was no Game
It
Pass,
got
right?
to though. It got to because most of these third party games are cross gen, so it's not like these native ports is really utilizing the new
Sure,
hardware to its like
but the thing
full
is, my
capability.
bar on I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna keep it funky with you, and when everything let's go back to before PS4, no, before PS5 and Xbox Series was released. The only thing I was hyping about the possibility of next gen consoles was higher frame rates. That's the
Okay,
only thing I was. So it's like
that's what we got.
my
That's what we got.
expectations for gaming so far is because I didn't think graphics honestly will get that much better. Like I was like, yeah, they might do ray tracing, they might, you know what I mean. But I was like, if you're telling me when I was hearing rumors of what the CPUs are gonna be, I'm like, yo, if the next Xbox is gonna be able to hit 120 frames per second on some games, I'm in. And now is that it's a reality? It's like. So that's why it's different from coming from like 360 days into Xbox where we had milestones to hit visually, right? But like now it's like when I was going into this generation, all I wanted was better frame rates. And I know people like, well, you could have played
Okay.
on PC, but I was like, I don't fuck PC. I want my
I
console.
mean, even with these higher frame, well, I would say even with 120, shit is dropping down to like 1080p just to hit it. But I mean, like you said, you were only concerned about the frame rate, so I guess it didn't bother you,
Yeah, because the thing
or
is,
it
what
doesn't
could have
bother you
happened?
to that
'Cause
point.
if you think about it, we had mid-gen refreshes, right? Where we got a taste of 4K gaming. We got a taste of 4K, and like 4K is nothing new. So
Yeah.
at this point, when I'm going into this generation, I was like, well, I just assumed 4K would just be a given. We have an Xbox One X, so 4K has to. My thoughts going into Series X and PS5 was, okay, 4K is a given. Now,
Shit,
but we
to
already
be honest,
tasted 4K.
yeah,
The frames have to be the thing that has to be the frames and
Yeah.
load times has to change. But go ahead.
Yeah.
And better AI. Go ahead. My bad.
well, shit, I was gonna say, just to be honest, man, shit, we really not even tasting 4K now like that, like,
Yeah.
because I was expecting like a true
Yeah, true
lock
native
native,
4K, like
yeah,
on
native,
every game at this.
right, right. Shit, we still not even.
Yeah, the
Shit.
trickery that they got going on, which I thought was just weird. You know what I mean? It's like, um,
I guess it's just. I guess this is obviously it's to compensate for better frames. I think we can all see that we're going to get these dynamic resolutions. That's here to stay. If
yeah,
we
but
want
I think
60
I've gotten
frames and
over the
all these
fact
other
of native because believe it or not, a lot of people don't know the difference between dynamic and native and all the tricks that they got going on. At the end of the day, they're giving off the same image
Yeah,
quality,
true that.
right? You know what I
True
mean?
that.
Remember, people thought a fucking Returnal was the second coming until they found out that shit was it was 1080p plus.
Yeah.
Like, and then their mind changed. It was like, so what were you playing last week? I don't get it. Like,
Yeah, true that. Yeah, okay. If okay, I'm with you. If you were going into this with
but
just
yeah,
frame rates
I
on your
don't. I
mind,
guess I don't know what to expect because I think visually, I don't know. I have to see a game that's like really beyond like what we fucking like got already. Like, do we? the first game that comes out, like the Luminous trailer, like Horizon or Forbidden West, it looks great. It looks great, but the first game looked great. It's not that this looks like it's not like I don't know if it's like when I see it like for when it comes out, it doesn't look like I feel like it looks like what I expect it to look like on a new generation. I expect it to be the image quality be the better to be it be more fluid. I mean, it naturally look good. I expect it to have some sort of improvement, and it meets those requirements. Like I guess I don't know what I'm looking for in the next generation for next generation so far. Like, because the game could be exclusive, right? And they're gonna have the exclusive this year. But at the end of the day, like, what criteria do those games have to hit then, other than being released on Xbox? Yeah. Only Xbox and PC, because we can't escape PC. I don't know what criteria that is. I mean, we were hit with like obviously the medium. You know, you really don't. You can count as a first release, but Xbox didn't. That's not Xbox's game. It was just released first on Xbox. That same game's gonna release on PlayStation in September.
Yeah, it's coming.
Resolutions. And then people had the nerve to go out there and side by side comparisons of like, it looks better on PS5. Yeah, this same 900p game that was 900p on Xbox, so you just magically think it's a native 4K on PS5 now. Okay, but man, I don't really know what I want from next gen. I feel like I've been satisfied. All the games have been, for the most part, have been 60 frames or better. They've been good experiences. Like, I've had a good experience gaming so far. I gained so much in the last since these consoles released. I probably played more games now than I did than before. You know what I mean? I'm already 23 games beat in this calendar year alone. So I don't know, man. It's like would it be good to have I can't wait for Xbox to release their exclusive. I know there's a couple games coming out this month. You got Death's Door, you got the Ascent, you got Flight Sim and whatnot. But I know people ain't going to credit those games because Flight Sim was out on PC first, and Death's Door and the Ascent are smaller studios. So then it comes down to Halo and Forza Horizon 5 and Dark Tide and Psychonauts 2, even though that's going to be on the PS4, but there's only going to be one true next-gen version of that game. So those, I mean, they're going to come in, and when they come, I'm just telling everybody now, once them shit start dropping, after July, from there on, it's a wrap. Niggas can't talk shit. People can't say nothing. From July onward, there's nothing no one can say because there's going to be exclusive releasing every month for the rest of the year.
These games still got to be good, though.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good. The accent's going to be great. Flight Sim's already a 90 Metacritic game already. It's already a 90 Metacritic. It's not before it even gets on Xbox. It's already a 90 Metacritic game. So I'm gonna just assume that score passes over. That it passes over. If it doesn't, I'm back slapping somebody with my ring finger. If it doesn't make sense. There's no excuse.
I'm waiting. I was just about to say, if it does, I'm waiting for your Crackdown 3
surviving Metascores. So no, after July onward, I feel like the Ascent's gonna score high, Flight Sim's gonna score high, Psychonauts 2 is gonna score. I think Psychonauts 2 is gonna be a sleeper game of the year.
I think so
it's gonna be a sleeper. It's gonna be that one game nobody was expecting or paying attention to. That is literally going to work and find itself in the Game of the Year nomination. And when that happens,
I wouldn't say game. I'll say low 80s. I won't say game, but low 80s is good though for that type of game.
Low 80s is great.
Yeah.
You know what? Mark this down. You say low 80s. I got high 80s. I got 89.
Okay.
I got 89. I got 89. I feel like what else they got dropping this year? I still feel Halo's gonna be pushing the 90. I think Forza Horizon 5 is a 93 off the bat.
That's good.
It's a 90. As long as the game doesn't come out broken, it's a 93.
Right. That's good.
Yeah, man. I don't. I'm telling you, after July, it is a wrap for the rest. Because after that, there's games on, and in 2022 we already know what's good. So I don't want to hear shit. This whole Xbox ain't got no games thing officially dies July. This July, that shit dies. Oh, this month, 2 weeks, that shit dies. Like I'm gonna do something so uncharacteristic. Every game that releases for the rest of the year, I'm gonna just stream day one. Just to be like, all right, it's gonna be Xbox got games, whatever game I'm streaming, and then and that'll be it.
All right, cool. But yeah, as far as I still think, just going back a little bit, I still think visually, I still think we're gonna see visually impressive games that show off the capability. My only thing is just with visually is just that I just want them to target 60 frames and do what they can with that.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be visually scrumptious and then it be at 30 frames. Yeah. I don't want that. But I still think visually, I don't think we've seen the best yet.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We haven't. And just like you, I want 60 frames per second to be the target, right? But I want this is, and I'm no game developer, right? But if you target around 60 frames, I want you to target 60 frames, and then wherever the best possible visuals you can peek at those frame rates, do it. If that means the game isn't native 4K, fuck it. I'll settle for 1800p or whatever.
That's right.
Whatever. Like, as long as 60 frames is still the target, but we've seen what they've been able to do. I know we're being spoiled with like cross gen ports. We've seen Doom Eternal hitting these crazy ass marks at those frame rates. They're able to hit 1800p ray tracing 60 frames per second lock. They're able to hit 1800p fucking 120 frames per second. They're able to hit native 4K 60 frames per second with peak PC ultra max settings. On if you play balance, everybody's all hooked up on like ray tracing or 120 hertz. Their balance mode is literally the best possible way in terms of no compromise at all. Like the visuals is set to the highest they can possibly go, and the frame rate is a lot at 60.
With ray tracing, yep.
Ray tracing.
You said balance.
The balance mode is where everything is like ultra max settings. Everything's complete cap. Like there's no compromise, no dial down shadows, none of that shit. It's just max to whatever the best PC could do at that time at 60, because obviously PC could hit those settings at higher frame rates. But the fact that they're able to hit 120 frames per second at like 1800p, which is a high resolution for that target. You know, obviously a lot of people, when I be hyping 120 frames per second, people like, it's at 1080p. But I was like, well, actually there's quite a few games that are hitting those marks at like 4K, 1440, 1800p dynamic 4K, and still able to retain those heights. So, but we'll see. I mean, what else we got here? I know we went through the Switch OLED, we went through the state of play, the pricing upgrades. Ubisoft is catching some flack.
Ubisoft, man, they done fucked up.
All right, tell me your take, because I have an unpopular opinion about it, but I want to know what's turning you off about this.
So from my understanding, a live service, right, is that they can produce a game, but it can change at any given time, right? That's a live service, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if change, but yeah, yes.
The
game is dynamic. It's pretty much a dynamic game. Yeah.
Yeah, and they can release something and change the whole scale of things at any given time, any given moment, right? I don't like that. I don't like that. It's that's not Assassin's Creed, and I know I know to a lot of people, Assassin's Creed hasn't been Assassin's Creed for a minute. Well, for these past 3 games, but going with this, that's not what we want, man. We want them to give us a setting, and we want to explore that setting to its fullest capability. We want a good story from beginning to end. We don't want to have a story, then mid whatever they come in with this other story to. Man, we don't like. I don't want that. I just want like I said. I've been. If they could just take the old Assassin's Creed and balance it with the new Assassin's Creed and make a game, that would be the perfect Assassin's Creed. But I don't like this live service crap, man. I don't like. I don't understand why. Why are they doing this? This is what I guess that's the real question I should ask is why are they going live service? Because Assassin's Creed is selling better than ever before. So I don't know. I don't know why they have to go this route. And it's not like they don't have microtransactions in the games that they already got. Now it's about to be 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they're doing this.
I don't know. Maybe they're tired. Ubisoft on average averages about like 5 to 6 AAAs a year that they put out. When you factor
but now remember Assassin's Creed is every other year now.
Well, that particular franchise is every year. But the thing is how they've been treating Assassin's Creed. They give each Assassin's Creed game, even though they've released, every other year, each Assassin's Creed had like a 3-year life cycle in terms of content, expansions. They were doing trials and live events. So the game has been moving to a games as a service model for a while, and they've had these little, formulas in the game. No, if you just play,
explain to me how.
Remember they had that little fucking event where they had this little festival in the middle of our playthrough. A festival just showed up at your fucking settlement. There was a festival. Mm-hmm. You had drinking games. It had little random missions that had nothing to do with the main story. There were just random missions you could do, and you had a week to do it. Because after a week, that shit went away. Remember?
Right, I forgot about that because I had already beat it.
Yeah, you already beat it, and you kept waking up drunk every time you booted the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so they had that, and then I don't know because I don't know if you turned the game on, but they added raid wars where you could just start raid, because the game didn't have a lot of boat battles like Odyssey did, and obviously Black Flags and Rogue. They added that just out of the blue, and then they added these games always had like contracts and different challenges that were on a time that were based on real time. And they did that all throughout, and that's how they bloated the game beyond the extra work you had. You had these time stuff and stuff that they would add into the game that you had to participate in. And Origins still have challenges in there that they threw in.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I could see them going in that direction, and I guess. And remember, they add the tour of the location. Like afterwards, they'll put the tour in, so you could tour without and do no combat at all. You just walk around the area.
Oh, word. Okay.
I'm not. I won't say I'm not as supportive because I'm not a fan of the live service game, but I can see how they would do it. The thing that makes it a problem for Ubisoft is because when you look at the games that were once great, Ghost Recon is the game I think of. And then I think about the latest game, Breakpoint, which is just a full-on games as a service trash piece of shit. Breakpoint is probably, I don't know. I feel like it's like they said, you know what? We're not going to it's like, okay, we released the Division this year. We can't release another one so soon. So we're going to reskin the Division and call it Ghost Recon and take all the tactical elements out the fucking game that used to be in the game. And it's just now these sandbox here. I don't like these open world sandbox work games. I don't know. It's like, I fear that they, obviously there's a chance they can mess it up, but if it's still that single player experience and it's just on a grander scale, since they never want to end these games and it's just going to be constantly updated and stuff like that, I'm fine with it. Okay, I'll be fine with it. I'll play all my stories or your 5-year support of this game on one package in the standalone game that I buy, or if it's free, I don't know how they're going to do it. But
so you're saying if they just keep it the same, then you're good with that. Like
Yeah.
if they just drop in events here and there, but still we still have the main campaign,
Yeah.
just like how it is now,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah,
But I mean,
okay.
I gotta
I can
see, I
dig
gotta
that.
see it in practice. So I mean, we're not due for
Yeah,
another Assassin's Creed until next year, right? So
yeah, yeah. So yeah, if they're having it to where like shit is just changing out of nowhere, like you know, yeah. I don't like that if it goes that route to where they're just okay, do this and then what? Time for a change and then
time
do
for
it.
yeah.
If they do like that, then I'm not down with that. But I mean, if they keep it the same, I don't see the big backlash with that because I mean, like I said, the game is selling better than ever. So yeah, I don't. I don't but did Odyssey have these events in
Yep.
Origin? They did. Okay.
Odyssey's event lasted longer. They had an extra year to. They had Odyssey had a whole extra year to work with. Remember, came out and then Odyssey came out the year after, but Origins had so much content that content was coming up into the point Odyssey released, and Odyssey had content released for the straight 2 years. That was out, whether it was expansions. That it started with Origins, and then Odyssey just expanded on it because it was so much bigger than what Origins was. Like,
Yeah,
there's still a lot of shit that I didn't do in Odyssey.
Odyssey was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just still a lot. I mean, I beat the base game, and I think I got through. Actually, no, I got through all the expansions because she ended up having a baby. I did that one. Did you? I don't know if you like Cassandra.
Cassandra had a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the DLC. That was
Yeah.
the Atlantis or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Atlantis did- yeah. Her baby daddy was a chump. I was like, man, all this ass she was kicking, and this is who she has a baby by. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like Odyssey was a bigger game in terms of like landmarks and scope than Valhalla was.
Oh yeah, it
Like
was. It was.
Odyssey was huge, dog.
Honestly,
Like, oh my
Odyssey was
God.
too big.
Too big,
It
yeah.
got complaints for being too big. It was just too much content.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But it was a great game. The all right, so they're talking that it's acquisition season, right?
Acquisition season.
Now Sony has made at least two. We think they made three, but two of them has been announced. They got
Yes.
Housemark and Nix's. So Returnal. Obviously, they're gonna be making more games. I think Returnal was their pretty much what you call it when you their tryout to be bought, right? We can make a
Yeah,
PlayStation 2.
Housemark been trying out for a long time now.
Yeah. And then Nix is just there to get their PS games ported to PC quicker.
Yep.
And make sure that they're done right because they don't want to take resources from their first parties to do it.
Good pickup. Good
So that's a nice pickup.
Blue Point is a given.
Blue
so.
Point was mistakenly posted on a poster on Sony
Right.
Japan, and then it was corrected. But we expect their next.
Yeah, that's a given.
WB is reportedly selling not Telltale, TT, your studio, the Lego studio, and NetherRealm, which is the Mortal Kombat studio. It's acquisition season. Remember, and this is the time of the year. We're at the beginning. I think up until September, I think is when the quarter ends or something like that. Is when all the acquisitions are supposed to take place or finalized. Who's buying what? WB Games, TT, and NetherRealm. Who's gonna buy them if they're for sale?
If Sony needs to buy NetherRealms, absolutely,
Why?
because they have Evo, which is the biggest fighting tournament on the planet, right? So that, like I said that today on Twitter, that just makes sense as far as what Sony has. They have Evo, and NetherRealms is a fighter studio, so that just makes sense to me anyway. So definitely Sony should go after NetherRealm. Now, a lot of people came at me talking about, if it goes to a bidding war, Sony is asked out. I guess people still think Sony is broke. I don't know, man. But we'll see with that. TT Games, you know what? I could care less who they go to. Just give me my damn Star Wars, man. So if Xbox picks them up, cool. If PlayStation picks them up, cool. I think though it will bolster. It would, if that's the right word, bolster or booster. It will boost Xbox's profile more than it would Sony's,
Mm-hmm.
because Sony already has that kid friendly. They have that.
Yeah. You got Knack, you got Ratchet, you
Yeah,
got
Bug Snacks
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
Little Big Planet and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Sony got that good. But then again, Microsoft has if not the biggest IP in Minecraft. So yeah, it could go either or. But I think TT Games give would be better on Xbox to bolster. I guess that's the right word, or boost
Yeah, I
their
mean they have
lineup.
what right now. WB has two of the things Xbox is missing. They have uh, a more a kid friendly thing because they need to get that something at least for the kids, some sort of IP for the kids or a studio that can do that. And if you do that, you pick up Telltale. Shit, you ain't even gotta. You could just put Lego. You could do Lego
Lego
Banjo.
games.
That's like Lego Minecraft. You can do all
Re-
this shit. Like
remember that rumored Lego Halo game that was supposed to come out?
yeah,
Yeah, remember that?
you that sound that literally take and they push out games quick. These niggas make 3 games a year. Like that's probably the most
Yeah.
productive studio I've seen. They literally could push out multiple games in a year. You have and then obviously another realm. Xbox needs a studio for Killer Instinct.
Would you want them to just focus on Killer Instinct,
No,
or
I would want them to do
okay,
Killer Instinct,
okay,
Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct plus Mortal Kombat, and then license out a DC thing. I
yeah,
would
Injustice, yeah,
and continue to do that.
okay,
So they just needed to have that in their repertoire because sometimes Xbox be losing out on these random fighting games that happen like that. PlayStation, it'll be like
Guilty Gear.
these Guilty Gears and all this other shit. Like I think we're finally getting King of Fighters. I don't know if that was like I don't know if that was ever notorious coming to Xbox. We still don't have a Street Fighter and whatnot. So yeah, I mean WB, like I said, curious to see what's going on with that. Xbox was supposed to have acquired Avalanche Studios already, which is this team that's making Contraband. They also do Just Cause and Rage 2, and they did Mad Max.
Is that a good like? Is that a pickup where you like brag about, or is that just like, okay, that's just more the merrier, you
It's the
know?
more the merrier. It's not because
Okay,
they don't come with any IPs. They don't own any IPs to my knowledge.
okay,
Like Just Cause is owned by Square Enix. Rage is Bethesda.
well, I guess they kind of on that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they now they have like an in-house studio that they can rely on that can
Right.
the studio that can do it. Mad Max was the license thing agreement.
Mhm.
So, I think unless
Okay, so do
go
do
ahead.
you think they're a capable studio to come out with a good game? Not a good.
They
No, why?
specialize in open world action games.
Okay,
They like cars. Like
okay.
I mean they can make a decent game. I mean they don't make
That's what.
bad
That's what I
games.
didn't mean. I didn't mean to say it like that.
They
Yeah,
make
just
good.
like
They make good to okay games. I'm not the biggest fan of
okay,
Just Cause. So,
okay.
and Mad Max, I wasn't the biggest fan of that. Rage is probably the only game I had some interest in, that they've done, and we'll see what they're doing with Contraband. So,
It is Contraband.
Contraband is gonna be a heist game set in the 70s, a
Okay,
multiplayer heist game.
okay.
Um, there's also obviously um the people that's making the Ascent. There's a Soul that's always freaking rumored, and they're close with Xbox. I don't
That's the one
know.
who just did a Plague's Tale, right?
Yep, I would
Oh,
like.
yeah. That'd be a good pickup to brag about if you ask me anyway. But
Yeah, but I hope it comes with that damn IP because Focus Home this is the second time they're publishing that damn game.
oh, for play,
Focus
yeah.
Home Interactive.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just curious. I just hope that the next studio that they buy, and I think what Microsoft is trying to do though, I think they're trying to grab a publisher
Okay.
because if they grab publishers, That's
So who
less.
would that be then, though? That
I
wouldn't
mean,
be
you
any
could
of the.
finish up and grab the rest of WB, and kind of just let them self-manage each other. It could
So
be
you
like a
want
full
Xbox to
person.
buy like the whole WB? You want them just to take over,
Take
just
over
to.
the rest of their studios and
Oh,
keep everybody who's employed. Because the thing is,
Jesus.
the biggest thing about the Bethesda thing is they don't have to fire anybody. Like, it's like, all right, the person that was looking over all of Bethesda Studios is still that person going to be looking over all Bethesda Studios. Matt Booty is still looking over Xbox Studios, and then the next publisher they buy, that same person head is going to be looking over the studios that they were looking at. The only difference is their games are going to be going to Game Pass day one, and more than likely be exclusives to Xbox. So it allows them to bolster their first party quicker by getting a publisher. When you get a publisher, each publisher has about 5 to 8 development studios there, and obviously you get a whole ton of IPs. I don't think they'll grab anybody big. It's like Ubisoft or EA. I think they could do a THQ Nordic or a Focus Home Interactive or a fucking who else is out there that do what's the dudes that do all those damn Warhammer games?
You lost me.
Um,
No idea.
but yeah, I think they're. I mean, obviously you could do a Sega, Konami, whatever. Konami doesn't make enough games for me to warrant that, but
And remember, PlayStation has those three partnership things going on with that the Deviation and that J Raymond
Jade Raymond in the
Studio.
studio, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, many are seeing this as their trial runs before they become a official
Yeah.
member of PlayStation Studios. So we'll see about that. I don't know, man. I don't deviation. Like I don't know anything about any of those partnership studios to be
Mm-hmm.
like, you know. I mean, obviously, of course, we got to wait to see what they come out with. Come up with. But even from past, like I know Jade Raymond, she was at Ubisoft, right? But
She did
shit,
Ubisoft. She did
I
like.
couldn't
But
tell
the
you
thing
what.
is, she haven't launched the game in 7 years, though. I'll tell you
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I couldn't tell you
So I
one
don't know
game.
why some
Yeah.
people be having all this hype like around like the names and whatnot, but and I still don't trust any multiplayer partnership that PlayStation does because every exclusive multiplayer game to launch on PlayStation has been absolute ass cheeks with dingleberries in the middle, bro. It's been
Woo.
complete ass. They have not
That's
had a what exclusive multiplayer. I'm just trying to think.
well,
Somebody shut me up.
Uncharted 4 multiplayer was good.
All right,
No, no, it was good. Come
that
on,
no
man.
no I'm not no, okay. Uncharted. All right, so Uncharted is multiplayer. All right, Uncharted.
many like
Great.
The Last
Last
of
of
Us.
Us. All right, those are multiplayer tacked onto game of the year type games, right?
True.
So
Okay.
they don't even have to be the best. They just have to be average, but they're a part of a game of the year type caliber game, so it
That's
doesn't
what you're
really
saying.
matter, right?
Right, right.
But what multiplayer game known for its multiplayer? Like this is going to carry. This is PlayStation multiplayer title. I mean, they back Lawbreakers. We saw what happened with
Cat,
that.
can you help me out?
They back that Predator game. We saw what happened with that.
Oh
Like
God.
I don't know. Planet
Yeah.
Side, is it that game? Like I don't.
Uh, Chat, what you got, man? I got nothing when it comes to multiplayer. I got nothing because yeah, I mean, but it's good that they are trying though. At least they are trying. At least, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they literally had to trick the industry to thinking Destiny 1 was an exclusive, so for them to identify that game. But
I don't know, man. Yeah.
yeah, you said Jade Raymond launched the first Watch Dogs. Yeah, and that was 7 years,
God.
8 years
Yeah.
ago. So
7 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. Hopefully they come out with some heat, man.
yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you. I'm with you. But we how much time we pushing? I think we pushed at our. Oh yeah,
It's
man.
like over 2 hours. Well, 2 hours, like a little bit
Yeah,
over
damn
two
near
hours.
2 hours. I was saying 5 minutes is 2 hours. All right, man. No, but yeah, I'm gonna let you enjoy your Saturday, bro. Oh, you got to get with me on NBA Live. Me and NickBanks did the street game. We did a 5-on-5. I dropped 42 points. No assist. So I felt horrible. I felt horrible.
Oh,
No, but the thing is, I'm a catch and shoot player, but I can handle the ball. But the thing is though, I would make passes, and what they would do instead of just going for the open lane and doing the layup or shooting, they would hold on to the ball, which would lead into a turnover or a bad pass, and it would never result into any assists. But we've been playing, we've been doing 3-on-3s and 5-on-5s.
my player wouldn't help y'all no bit. My player probably 60. Probably 60.
I mean, I don't know. It's a good time on there, but I don't know when I'm gonna jump on. I'm gonna try to do this Watch Dogs one more time, and if I have to if I lose my save, if it doesn't save, I'm probably just gonna give up on it and just jump right back into Scarlet Nexus. But yeah, man, what's your next video on? Can we get a sneak peek? What you gonna be talking about next?
You know what? Nothing right now. Like I kind of want to do like a get to know me type video. That's a maybe, but I kind of just want to get consist. Like I kind of just want to have a consistency of, what my channel is all about. So, we'll see about that. Oh, I went to the wrong thing, but so yeah. So right now, bunch of nothing really.
I'm hoping I can get some kind. I gotta do a Weapon Wheel Patreon stream, and I'll probably do it tomorrow morning. It's this horseback riding game I have to do.
What we doing, Smooth? Come on, man.
No, it's a pay. I have no choice.
Oh, it's a Patreon.
It's a Patreon. They have no choice.
Say, what are we doing?
Yeah, so hopefully it got easy achievements. The thing is, sucks. It's like a $50 game. Though. That's what it's just a weird shit. These games be costing like. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Okay. I'm gonna read this last super chat and we get head out of here. Emmanuel A1, shout out to you, buddy. He says, "Hold it down, LTG. I got locked out of my car and missed most of the show. Shaking my head. VRS Tier 2 is godly and only on Xbox." All right, buddy. Yeah, he's right about that. Yeah. They did have this interview with Digital Foundry. I don't know if you see the images and when they were trying to, with the whole Doom Eternal thing.
Which is crazy because the developer was like, "Yeah, man, I kind of wish all platforms had VRS."
No, because the only thing I want to say about that is to the idiot that said VRS destroys image quality. Why would Xbox hype that? Why would Xbox players want something that destroys image quality? And what they weren't realizing is these dudes from Digital Foundry zoomed in 400 or 500% just so you can see the VRS effect, which is it was like kind of like it's like a flicker effect to show you that it's in play. But when you zoom back out to normal, you won't see that.
To get a what do you say, 30 to 40 performance
boost? Because what happens is VRS allows you to maintain a higher resolution at the frame rate you're targeting.
Right.
So that's how Gears was able to do 4K 60 on the like to main at those high settings. They had VRS Tier 2, and it wasn't at launch that they enabled VRS Tier 2. I think like 2 months after the next gen version was available. So Gears Tactics and Gears 5 use it, and then now Doom Eternal uses it.
Oh, what? Okay, so now I'm not understanding because you said it keeps the resolution at where it's at while giving that boost to performance, right? But then the comparison videos that they showed was the Series X version looked blurry and the PS5. So that's what I'm saying. So is it keeping what's in front of you at that at that resolution and at that performance, and everything else in the background is like not scaling with the
So what happens is it's more trickery. So the image quality isn't degraded. The thing is that you're seeing it because of obviously they zoomed up on it like that. They zoomed up on it at levels you're not going to see on the natural eye. So the thing is with VRS does it takes stuff that's like really not in play that really your eyes really shouldn't be focusing on, and those resolutions what they do is it sort of like they can render those at like lower resolutions, right? So that you can get the performance boost everywhere else. But the way that it hits is taking place in centers where you're not seeing. It's not like, for example, if there was a tree right in front of you, right, it won't impact that. But if it was like a little fucking bundle of grass like miles down the road, but it's visible but not visible, that can be rendered much lower, and it doesn't need to be rendered that high because you're not going to see it there yet. So what takes place, the reason why ISO in all the comparisons in every mode, 120 hertz, ray tracing, and balance mode, the Xbox Series X has a higher resolution than the PS5 in all modes, while keeping up with the frame rate. PlayStation resolution, now they all run dynamic resolutions, right? But PlayStation's dynamic resolution drop lower, and it has a lower drop, and its peak is not as high as the Xbox get. So
it does get better frame rates because of that, though, right?
The Xbox is able to for example, let's assume that if VRS wasn't like on Xbox, right, and they still tried to target those same resolutions, right, at that frame rate, chances, let's say they might drop frames while trying to target such a higher resolution in all those modes without that feature. So PlayStation it's not like it's a like for like. So PlayStation has these it's targeting 60, but it is also targeting at a lower resolution. So Xbox is targeting a higher resolution at 120, a higher resolution at 60, and a higher resolution with ray tracing enabled in all modes. Is doing it higher than what the PlayStation version is doing. And let's just say, I'm not saying that this would happen, but let's say if they disabled VRS, right, and Xbox was still targeting those higher resolutions, there's a chance, and this is not me not knowing, this is me assuming, there's a chance that without VRS, the frame rates could drop at those high resolutions unless they dynamically scale the resolution to be lower so that can maintain keep a consistent frame rate. But they didn't have to do that. They can keep the highest resolution possible that they can get and keep that 60 frame locked or 120 frames locked or ray tracing in with VRS. So I mean, the PlayStation there's ways that they could do VRS on PlayStation. It's just not like PlayStation doesn't have tier 2. They have a software emulated base, which is what's that game? Metro Exodus used. They used a form of VRS, but it was like in-house. It was a software base, and they were able to get the same consistency. Get to maintain the 60 frames per second and try to keep that resolution.
So why didn't Doom use that for PS5?
Because I don't think Doom has they don't have like a software solution for it. They just use what they had available to them, and they do a lot of in-house stuff like IdTech. They have a crazy scaling solution for like resolutions and stuff. Their games look good on almost every platform they're on. Even if you're playing on the old 2013 Xbox One, the game still looks good and it still runs at 60. I think it runs at 60 on the Switch. I don't know. I've never played it on the Switch, but they have a good scaling program.
Cool. Hey, shit, I got both, so I don't care who got what. I get to play the best of everything. So
yeah, but it was just funny because people think they know shit until they don't, and until it comes out. Like the things that people like really call out, and now the biggest thing now is the Call of Duty, the Warzone. I don't know if you've seen that on Twitter.
I did see that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing to say about Warzone. I don't play Warzone. I don't like Battle Royale.
Me either.
But that one, it looks like that one's hitting 120 on PlayStation more consistently than it is on Xbox. I wouldn't have known because I haven't, even with the 120 frames, I didn't play it. I'm not playing. I'll play Cold War. I like the traditional multiplayer. I don't like these fucking Battle Royale games. And I play Cold War at 120. I don't play at 60 frames. Like I just play it at 120. I think it still looks good. I think it plays great. But I also have 2 VR displays. So there
you go. Well, yeah, if you got an OLED, you got it. So
he said, "My man, Crap Gamer thought VRS was VR."
Yeah, man. I ain't got nothing. I'm staying in my lane, dog. I ain't got nothing.
But we appreciate you guys coming through to today's
Definitely.
episode, man. You guys are amazing in the chat. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. Also subscribe to Notorious DRE channel.
Yes, sir.
Matter of
Please.
fact, shout out to the 100 plus people that watch, but the current 70 plus people in here, you all should be subscribed to Notorious DRE.
Thank you.
It's right. His channel's literally right
I just
under
said that.
the hashtag. So click it, subscribe. We about to get out of here. He got a couple videos up already. You had like 4 or 5 videos already. 5 videos up. Check him out. Subscribe. Show some support. We definitely appreciate it.
But hold on, if you don't like the content, by all means, please do not subscribe. if you don't
like the content, no, you can subscribe. Yeah. You just don't have to go back. You
just
don't have to watch until you drop something you like.
But
all right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Dre, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And you guys, man, always, man, you guys keep it up. You keep us doing this show every week. We hit 23 episodes, man. Toast to another 23 more. We out of here.